Oh my goodness. Analysts are pure idiots. And that's putting it as nice as I possibly can. Analysts are complete idiots. You can't trust an analyst for anything. I would trust an email from the Congo that tells me I just won $1 million before I would trust an analyst, guys. This is pure insanity, these analysts. It is unbelievable, guys. It's incomprehensible how... Oh man, there's so many words I want to use that are so mean that I just don't want to say, but listen, we got to look at this, guys. I've called out analysts time after time again on this channel, pointing out different stocks and how these analysts you can never trust them and they have no clue what they're doing, guys. Snapchat today falls to $15 a share, reaches its 52-week low. This was on the back of basically an analyst downgrading the stock. And we're going to look at this downgrade and we're going to run some numbers here, guys. And you're going to see that it just makes no sense to trust an analyst ever out there, guys. Unbelievable here. Snap shares tumbled on Tuesday after Morgan Stanley, the lead underwriter on the company's initial public offering, downgraded the stock and raised concerns about the social media's company ability to compete with Facebook's Instagram. The ratings move, a rarity by a lead underwriter, so soon after listing came 4 months after Snapchat's owner public debut. Which was the hottest in the U.S. technology sector for years. Snapchat shares have tumbled 45%, blah, blah, blah. Morgan Stanley cut its equal weight from outperform and slashed its price target to $16 from $28. Below the median target of $19.50. Snap's user growth trends have been modestly weaker than expected, Morgan Stanley's analyst Brian Nowak wrote in the note. We have been wrong about Snap's ability to innovate and improve its ad product this year and user monetization, and as it works to move beyond experimental ad budgets into larger brands and direct response ad allocations. Holy smokes, there's so much to unwrap here, guys. First off, it comes down to valuation at the end of the day, right? We're all willing to pay something for something out there, right? The fact is, this guy has severely overvalued Snapchat shares. He tries to use an excuse about, monetization. He tries to use an excuse about, improving ad products and some of those things and ability to innovate. That's no excuse. That's not an excuse, because guess what? This company just had 296% revenue growth this past quarter. 296% revenue growth. The bottom line, what it comes down to, is this guy severely overvalued what the company is. I could say, I want to sell this YouTube channel. I'm going to sell this YouTube channel. I'm going to want to sell it for $3 million. This guy probably would have been like, oh, that's a great deal. No, that would have been a ripoff. $300,000, still a little overvalued. $30,000 and it's a steal, right? They have overvalued Snapchat here. Let's look at this here, guys. In June, Instagram said its stories feature had 250 million users. We actually talked about that already, compared to 166 for Snapchat. You have a 1, 2, 3 punch, and this is a quote from him. Slowing growth, advertisers are still favoring established platforms in a very, very threatening competitor. Okay, let's unravel all this, guys. Let's unravel all this. Slowing growth. Growth was already slowing as far as the amount of users coming on the platform before Snapchat even came public. This is not new information. This is not, if you looked at the prospectus on how much Snapchat users had gone up the past few quarters, it had slowed substantially. So right there in itself says, okay, you're either not doing your research on one of the most important things to do your research, or you're a little shyster and you're a little scam artist, in my opinion, because how could you miss that? It's the most important thing, arguably, to look at in the whole prospectus. Their growth had been slowing. This is nothing new. This is absolutely nothing new. Advertisers are still favoring established platforms. Okay, that one. Obviously, what advertisers always do that. It's always a slow move to go onto this platform or that platform. Facebook didn't just wake up and have, tens of billions of dollars in profit, right? It took a while for Facebook to get there. Facebook's old at this point. Facebook was created in what, 2005? 2005, guys. So this is a long time. And just any, advertisers are pretty stupid, right? We still got advertisers spending massive amounts of money on advertising on commercials, right? On TV. Dumbest thing they could be doing. Who the hell watches commercials nowadays? Do you guys watch commercials? I know I sure don't, because I don't even watch TV. But if I do watch TV, you know what I do? I pick up the remote and I fast forward, because everybody records shows or watches on demand nowadays. I know my wife, whenever she watches her shows, she records them and then watches them on demand. She doesn't see a commercial, and that's 98% of people out there. Yet advertisers are still spending tens of billions of dollars on television when it makes absolutely no sense. People are still spending ridiculous amounts of money on billboard ads when, hell, every person in a car is looking at their cell phone. They're not out the window looking at billboards. Well, look at what should I buy from the billboards? No, they're looking at their phone. Give me a break, guys. Half the drivers are looking at their phone, for Christ's sake. It's unbelievable. And then this last one, very threatening competitor. There's always been a very threatening competitor, right? Instagram's always been there. This is nothing new. It's not like someone came out of the blue in the last 4 months and all of a sudden was like, woo, I'm here to knock you off the block, This Instagram's been there. This is no new information. Absolute just insanity, guys, how much of an idiot these analysts are. It truly is. So, and then look at this. This is probably the worst part of it. Morgan Stanley cut its estimates for Snap's 2017 revenue by 6.9% to 897 million, and it cut its daily active users expectations by 1.6%. So listen to this, guys. They just took 40% off its share price, right? Because they were expecting a $28 price target. They took it down to 16. That's about a 40% change, right? But yet, revenue, they're only expecting 6.9% less, and user growth 1.6%. Add up those numbers, and it makes absolutely no sense, guys. It's just, it's painful for me to even look at what an analyst is doing out there, guys. And this is exactly what you can never, ever, ever trust an analyst. I would trust the CEO of Enron with my money before I would ever trust an analyst. These guys are backstabbing left and right. Look at this. 4 months later, I mean, they were so bullish on Snapchat, and it's going to go to the moon and this and that. And then all of a sudden now they cut everything. They cut everything. Meanwhile, Snapchat has 2 apps in the top 5 in the App Store. The only reason Snapchat's not in the top 5 today is because Amazon is Prime Day today, so Amazon jumped up to #1 above everybody. But generally speaking, the Bitmoji app that Snapchat owns, that's always in the top 5, and Snapchat's pretty much always in the top 5. So most downloaded apps out there. So it's unbelievable for me to see this, guys. It's unbelievable, but it doesn't come as a surprise to me because I've been seeing this for 8-9 years since I've been in the markets, right? So everybody wants to say, Snapchat, is it the next Facebook? Is it the next Twitter? The truth is, in my opinion, it's not either. It's not either Facebook or Twitter. Is it Facebook with the, ridiculous amounts of growth, the ridiculous amounts of revenue and profits? I don't think so, at least not right now, or, anytime soon, unless they acquire something else that's a real huge hit. Is it the next Twitter? Absolutely not. Twitter has Twitter, right? And it's not even ranked in the top 20 in apps. You can't call Snapchat Twitter when Snapchat has 2 apps in the top 5 most downloaded, and Twitter doesn't even have 1. So the truth is, Snapchat's not Twitter and it's not Facebook at the end of the day. So, everybody tries to group them into one of those groups. It's really somewhere in between both of them, right? At the end of the day. And it's just, guys, unbelievable. The reason that guy lifted up his price target as much as he did, because they were lead underwriter at the end of the day, and because Snapchat shares were on fire, and he's like, I got to get on this train, so let me just, load it up. And now that Snapchat shares have fallen so much to $17, he's like, oh shit, I need to lower this now because I look like an idiot because my price target's at $28. Snapchat shares are at 17. I look like an idiot, so let me lower them to 16, and now the stock falls below $15, guys. So it's unbelievable. So the question is, am I buying it personally? Not quite yet. I'm much more interested at this point now that it's in the 15-ish range, but I definitely want to see it under 15. And also, I'm not even sure I'll be dipping my toes if it hits the 14s yet, because I don't know, this one might be able to fall even further. You got to remember, Facebook came public at $38 a share. Snapchat came public at $17 a share. The first day it started trading more than that, but truly what it IPO'd at was $17, right? So Facebook fell 50% after its IPO. 6 months after Facebook's IPO, it was down 50%. So that was it was at like $18, $19 a share. So if Snapchat had that same performance, you could say, well, Snapchat might fall to, you know, $9 a share or $8.50 a share, guys, somewhere around there. So I might wait on this one a bit and see if it really, you know, has even a harder crash over the next month or two, and maybe around that 6 months, maybe it bottoms kind of like a Facebook did, because that is what happened with Facebook. We'll just have to see, but at some point, absolutely, this does have value. You know, the company has ridiculous growth in revenues right now, and they got 2 apps in the top 5 in the United States of America in the App Store. Like, you know, how many apps have that? How many companies have that? None. They're the only company that has 2 apps in the top 5, guys. So I'm definitely very interested in it. It might be a little bit of a falling knife right now, and I'm not quite ready to catch it yet, but I'm kind of rooting for it to keep going down, and I'm sorry if anybody out there owns it, but if you're a long-term holder, you know, you probably don't care, and this is just your chance to start buying shares for cheaper, because who knows what, you know, price you bought at. You might have bought at 20-something, right, at the end of the day. So don't ever trust an analyst. That's the bottom line, guys. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.